draw down the money within that 2 months period. And by the time she came after July 2020, the scheme was actually closed, not only for her, but for all South Africans. And the funds that were actually budgeted for were allocated. But what we'll do, as the chair has said, we will, through the department, provide the report, because we did immediately conduct an investigation in this regard. And also touching on the issue, Chair, raised by Honorable Jacobs around the disabled people. We're not, Honorable Member, discriminating against the disabled people, but we're saying that the allocation of the budget is not small per se. We try to correlate the budget to be proportional to the size of the population of the disabled people in the country. But from our side as sefa going forward, we are going this year to mainstream this area of support by employing a program manager to focus specifically on dealing with providing access to finance for people living with disabilities. And as part of the new intermediaries that we want to introduce as one of our route to access the market, we will want one of them to really focus on also providing funding to people living with disabilities. So we will certainly be mainstreaming them as sefa, the area of people living with disabilities. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you. Over to you, Chairperson of SEDA. Are you done?
Chair, there's a question that was raised by Honorable Kruger on loss making. May I humbly request that the CFO of sefa respond to that?
Okay. Over to you, CFO. CFO, over to you.
CEO, can you please handle it if the CFO is not in a position to respond immediately?
Missed this question, Chairperson, from the Honorable Kruger around, is it about the loss making by sefa or?
Yes, it is. It's about loss making, the projection of a loss for the immediate loss for year 22 and the previous performance. That was his question.
Okay. Chair, the organization also, because of the nature of the business that we run, if we have loans that do not perform and we impair these loans, they impact directly on the profitability of the company. And we've got the old the book that we're trying to deal with, and some of the write-offs that are going to flow through our finances are as a result of the old book. And in the short term, yes, you will see, number one, a very high cost-to-income ratio, and also the losses that were reflected. But as we now improve on the quality of the loan book, growing the revenues and the revenue streams for sefa, we will be able actually to improve, number one, our cost-to-income ratio. And you saw that in the following year, we are actually going to be looking at about 80 million, which is more like your break-even point. And the year after that, we start seeing profitability. So we're moving from a low base of improving from the old book and also eradicating all these other bad loans and growing the book with good quality loans and growing revenue streams through the partnerships that we're forming as an entity. So those losses are basically as a result of historical operating activities of the entity, if I may say. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Are you done, sefa? That was the last question.
Yes, we are, Chairperson.
Thank you. SEDA, can you respond?
Thank you, Chairperson and members for the questions. I have my team ready to provide more details where I have not. Responding to the Honorable Hendricks Chair on the issue of our zero-based budgeting. Thanks for the positive feedback, Honorable Hendricks. We went through a thorough process of looking at all the expenses and justifying each and building the budget around what is needed for the upcoming period. So in your words, we are feeling bullish that with our budget and what we have set to achieve, we will be able to achieve. But thank you for highlighting that. Honorable Mtenjane, thanks, Honorable Mtenjane, for the positive feedback. Yes, rural and township are indeed our core focus. We have increased awareness using both traditional and digital platforms, with road shows as well, and working with local municipalities to ensure that people who still don't know about us and what we do, as well as our sister company and the department, do know what we do. So as members would know, this is something that's always coming through, that people don't know about us, or people are saying that we are not accessible. So it's something that we have put effort in place to ensure that we address. We have also refined our marketing strategy, and I think the acting CE, as well as his team, they will just expand on some of the things that we've done to ensure that in the rural and in the townships we are accessible and people know about the kind of help that we are doing, and we are planning to do more in the upcoming year. On the issue of Honorable Kruger, thanks, Honorable Kruger, for the question on our spending. We are very much, we take much cognizance of our spending and know how badly spending money on ourselves will be viewed. And thus we make sure when we approve our budget, we ensure much is spent on core. I want to highlight that if you look at our presentation, you will see that the budget split for 2021 and 2022 is split between the split between direct service delivery and support function. It's actually 77.2% on direct delivery, service delivery, and only 22.8% on support. I will get the CFO to break it down further for you, to just show that that's something that we are always, have in our head that we need to address. On the issue of not responding to clients, our humble apologies to the client. I will ask the CE as well as his team to speak to those allegations and interventions in place to minimize these incidents, because it's not the first incident that we've heard of, and we have taken a zero tolerance stance as a board, and such matters, and when such matters happens, what we want full details, so that consequences, there must be some consequences on the ones who are still not addressing our SMMEs the way we have agreed they should be addressed. I will also ask the CE when he responds to some of these comments and questions, that he and his team also respond to the Honorable Matulelwa with regards to services not given to the right people, or claims that says that we have given services but those people have not received the service that we claim have been granted. It's not necessarily on the Mount Frey, but I want to give comfort to other members to say that this is something that we hear of from time to time, and we have put interventions in place to ensure that there is a zero occurrences of those things. Chair, with your permission, I will just ask Mr. Mbata to just add on the comments that I've just made. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chairperson. Mr. Mbata, can you respond, please?
Thank you, Chair. I think the SEDA chairperson has covered most of the items. What I would like to just add on is just a few things from our side. The first one is from Honorable Hendricks. I think it will be an interesting project, the village projects and the co-ops that needs to be packaged properly in, you said, I think, farming. I think obviously there's agricultural opportunities there. I think it will be in our interest to get our people to assist and make sure that those are properly packaged, and we'll follow. I was talking to my executive team here that we need to follow up on this and make sure that that work is done. And not because it's coming from Honorable Hendricks, but such projects should be key projects that we look for and also that we look after. So that is just a commentary. I think on the issue of from Honorable Matulelwa. I think I was attending the portfolio committee last time. I think the issue was raised. I think we just need to look deep into it. There is a process that is happening because we can't really divorce ourselves that much from SEDA eThekwini matters, right? Because they were still SEDA, even though they were SEDA eThekwini with a different reporting responsibility. However, we can't divorce ourselves that much. We will look into this matter and also see how, because the process that is currently underway in terms of how even the staff members that were working there at SEDA eThekwini, how can they be looked after and make sure that they continue, or in that office we continue to provide the services. But the affected clients or entrepreneurs, I think we need to deal with that matter, Chair, and make sure that if there are no records and of former, we need to see how we then do retrain and do that, because unfortunately it's not possible to issue a certificate on training orders issued by SEDA eThekwini and it's non-existent anymore. But we need to relook into that and see. And I mean, it may not even be relevant certificate, but what relevant certificates can be offered to the very same people, so that then training rather can be offered to the very same people, so that they get the certificate and they become relevant at this point in time. So it's one of the projects that we would take in the CEO's office and see through the executive responsible so that it is then executed, and so that then, I'm not saying in the next report, but we'll make sure that we make some way in correcting that. On the, I think the other question was, see if I responded to it, was a SEFA question. On Honorable Kruger, I think that 2-pager or 3-pager business plan, I'm sure it didn't result in any funding, but I'm hoping that the opportunity for the guest house is still there. And we have asked also that to look into we need to follow up, get the details, the numbers, so that then we're able to make sure that the business plan is done properly. It's one of those unfortunate events and shouldn't happen. I know we've been experiencing quite a few issues over the past financial year in terms of our service provision and how slow it was, as the committee members were aware and were made aware in the last meeting. But those are behind us, and our people should be working full steam and making sure that we provide the service. So that is one matter that we would take forward. And then lastly, on the issue of the expenses, the delivery model of SEDA is simple. It's got the branches. In the branches, there's business advisors. And those business advisors are people that look after our SMMEs at large. Those are the people that the SMMEs see. Those are the people that provide advice to SMMEs. Those are the people that do the diagnostic assessment on SMMEs businesses. So they travel and go to SMMEs and they do that work. And then only when there's technical work that needs a service provider, then that work is then recommended. So the first portion is directly linked to the service that we offer to our clients as SEDA. So for us to be able then to reach as many SMMEs as possible in this country through our co-locations, through everything, we need to have that first line. We need to have people that will be able to carry that work and do that work. Hence, I was saying even the staff vacancy of 10%, if that involves business advisors, then it's a lot, because business advisors, we should not have vacancies around that, so that we make sure that the service delivery is on time and is of high quality. So both, and then the issues of the SME project involves the money that we for the services that incubators do on our behalf, reaching to SMMEs. It involves, so that's the incubation technical program. We also have the technological transfer program, assistance program, where we're able to buy equipment for SMMEs up to 100,000, manufacturing SMMEs up to 100,000 in the grant format. And then, then also there sits what we pay service providers. So both the first line which is the personal cost, and the SME projects, they both related, hence the 77%, 7.2%, they related to us providing a service to SMMEs. And though in much of those jobs are in our provinces, where service delivery really takes place within the entity. Chair, I think that would be it from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Chairperson, Dr. Ndlovu. Are you done?
No, thank you, Chair. I would like the CFO to just speak on the issue of our budget split. CFO, just to give comfort to members that we're not spending money on wages, but we are looking at service core. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair, if I may, I think that part, Chair, through you, Chair, the Chair of seda is what we're just covering now, to say the split between the personal cost and our business model and the SME project. So as I was saying, the people that we are paying under personal cost are people that are business advisors that are directly linked in the provinces, that are directly linked to service delivery, providing training, providing advice, providing diagnostic tools to our clients. So that 44% is mainly linked to our provinces and our network, and people that are in our co-locations and all that, that is linked to it. So it's not people in the head office that are forming majority of that, is our guys in the provinces. So that's where the split is. And then the second 341 million, which is 36%, is the monies that we're dealing with from directly from the technological funds, or we buy equipment from the incubators, and also supporting business plans or technical work, including your ISO, your SAPS, all that work comes in there. So both those two form the 77.2%, which we then saying is client and service delivery. And we cannot do without the first one, which is personal cost, because we need those people to reach out to as many. And as we continue, as we become bullish now, we even need that even more so that we can achieve and reach out more to our people. So that's how the budgets are split. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, CE. Chairperson, I think we have covered all the questions then that the members put forward. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I'll now invite the DG.
Thank you, Chair. I think there were a few comments, maybe the two from Honorable Hendricks and from Honorable Mtenjane. I think it's more about emphasizing the point that the rural areas and the township areas must also be supported. I think it's also covered. It was also the same issue that was covered by Honorable Faiz or Honorable Jacobs, sorry, that we need to really pay a particular attention to the rural and township areas. And I think our guidance to seda, for example, that they must only establish incubators in those township and rural areas. I think that's a clear directive. It's also covered on the NTSF. It shows our appreciation of the fact that we need to address these imbalances of the past. So we are handling that, but I'm sure the DM in her closing remarks, because she's really driving this area of work. We were in Lusigisi last week with the DM, so we are really targeting these disadvantaged areas. I think she will expand on that. I'm not gonna expand on it. And then there was a comment from Honorable Matulelwa on the two issues, the licensing. I think I did in our presentation explain that the Businesses Act was only transferred to us towards the end of last year. It was transferred on the 30th of October. So we have started consultations, especially with the key stakeholders, because this licensing issue is implemented at local government level. They are the ones who are responsible for this activity. Us as government is more on the legislation part, but we need to make sure that there is consistency that is applied throughout the country, but also the relevance of the licensing is, I think it's something that cannot be debated. We do need to license, otherwise everything will just happen haphazardly all over the country, and we won't have control of what is happening. So we have started those consultations. I indicated that we've started reviewing this act because it was just transferred to us. Previously, it was administered by DTIC. So we are pushing on those aspects. Then there was also a comment on the 90% of budget that went back. We are not aware of the 90%. As a department, we are not aware of that, as well as I think the AG as well is not aware, because they would have given us a serious disclaimer if budget is not spent on SMMEs and cooperation. And then there was a question from Honorable Kruger on ease of doing business. Here the issue is the use of these terminologies. Ease of doing business. Previously, we used to just focus on red tape reduction as a department. And then National Treasury was charged with the responsibility of driving ease of doing business across the country, and we're using those World Bank ratings. And then there was an agreement between Treasury and an entity that was responsible for providing these ratings throughout the world, and that relationship was terminated. But even in that relationship, there were some questions that were asked, in fact, not just by South Africa, but by all other countries, because the methodology that they're utilizing, they will select certain people and ask them their opinions. So if you have not been asked, you will never accommodate your opinion. So there were questions around the credibility of the ratings that were done by the entities around the methodology in particular. So since that relationship was terminated, we had to revert back to using the terminology that we've been using. But I agree with Honorable Kruger that ease of doing business is much broader than red tape. But so it's something that we as a department, in the meantime, until we get guidance from Treasury on the way forward on using ease of doing business, we have to focus on doing red tape. This is what is under our control, but accommodate the other issues. For example, one of the issues that has been addressed is the issue of common business plan template. We've driven that process. There is a common business plan template which is utilized by the entities. We had IDC on board, we had NEF on board, so that it becomes easier for our SMMEs. Also the intervention on the SMME SA database, where we are now ensuring that an entity, once they can register on our SMME SA database, they can also register on the CIPC, they can register on the centralized supplier database on the same platform, rather than them having to go to different platforms or even to visit different government departments. So it's part of the work that we are consolidating, ensuring that we make it easier for our SMMEs to access support or even to be formalized. Honorable Jacobs also made some comments and urged us to make sure that we become a more responsive government, and I think it's something that we are working on continuously as a portfolio. I think SEFA did indicate that since we started implementing, especially the trap interventions, we went back to the drawing board after extensive engagement using the DDM model, where we visited district municipalities, we received feedback from SMMEs, the potential beneficiaries. We reviewed even the threshold of our intervention. So we'll try to always be responsive, but also critically make sure that those people that we engage with, we don't just share information and leave them in the same situation. We need to make sure that we follow up and make sure that support is provided. We are pushing on that front. We have regular engagements with both SEDA and SEFA to make sure that we process the applications and people are not left hanging for too long. So it's something that we'll always continuously improve on, and we acknowledge that we need to pull up our socks and make sure that we deal with this comprehensively. We are, Honorable Chair, engaging with not National Treasury, DTIC, especially the BBBE Commission. We do have a relationship with them, but we are strengthening this. In fact, our colleagues led by ADDG, Vincent, they will be engaging with them on all other things that we want to engage with them on, because we believe that we play a critical role in ensuring that there is proper transformation that takes place. We don't want these big corporates to just tick the boxes. Tiger Brands, we're having an engagement with them, Honorable Chair. They've approached us, and we are dealing with them, especially when it comes to supplier development, even on cooperatives. They want to supply them with products. So this issue will come up. We'll raise it, the issue of the owner-driver, when we engage with them. We hope to have an agreement with them soon, so that we tackle all these issues that are of concern to the honorable members. Thank you, Chair. I think those are the issues that I was supposed to respond to. Thank you.
Thank you, DG. Thanks for the response. I would like now to invite the DM to have a bite, just to summarize. DM.
Thank you, Chair. Instruction well taken. I think the summary has been done very well by all the chairs, including the DG, to really not leave matters hanging. But the only thing I would want to say is to request that when our leaders are engaging in the oversight, these matters that affect the service delivery by the small business development are also matters that belong to other departments, which means if the local municipality is not able to join the party by making the environment to be conducive for small businesses, especially informal and the hawkers as well. The issue of not having a trading large license is very critical, because most of our people did not get the resilience fund or other funds related to that because they were not complying. And it has now become our priority to try and negotiate, convince our counterparts on other departments that the battlefield for small business is in the trading space in the local municipalities. And if we also do not involve at a district development level other departments, we might find that our work will not be successful. One being the fact that if there's no water, if there's no road in that particular village, including the potholes, our businesses really, really suffer. And it is on this vein that while I appreciate all what we have presented to you from the level of the political champion, Mama Kumbuzo Njaveni, we also have today to say we are calling upon all other like-minded non-governmental organizations, whether it's agencies that they stand on their own, because we will use our funds to establish a tree where all the other branches will hang around and ensure that tree becomes greener and greener. I thank the Portfolio Committee for giving us such a long time today, so that we don't stop halfway in actually giving a detail. We really appreciate, because not unless you give us a platform, then we can be able to account back to you. Honorable Hendricks, I'll invite you. Can we go to Fred and I? So that you can see. There's nothing that I'm claiming we're doing there, but I happen to know that it's plus minus 5 hours to Fredendal from the city, so that we can be able to interpret better how our communities are flung out of where there's life. Sis Babalwa, I live very close to Alfred Nzo, and I think your matters in the main, I think it's your constituency. I would like to visit this business. I would like also you, Sis Babal, to organize the small businesses so that we can understand each other properly when we are on the ground with you as the representative and myself as the one who's supposed to give service delivery. I'm happy that when we were confronting Sandra in Lusigisig on the issues of N2 a highway, N2 longest bridges and highest bridge, about which percentage has gone to small businesses. And I had asked the DG to be physically there, because when people work out very far from Pretoria, they think they can exploit our people. And we are out there to find you, whether you are in the Northern Cape or in Fredendal or wherever. We will get you there to ensure that you comply with the laws of this country. With this brief, I also appreciate that my leader, the minister, was here to take upon herself her responsibility and give us a go ahead again. And we appreciate that. You will always find us on the field. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DM. Thanks for the response. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to honorable members. This is a journey. We need to travel together. I'm happy too about the zero budget. I'm still inviting honorable members that in our constituency, let's try to play our role. Ours should not to come and criticize, but also to be part and parcel of our society, because this is a portfolio committee. We are working as a collective. Thanks to those who have already started. The issue of the response to Honorable Babalo needs to be sent to the department, and the department will send it to the portfolio committee. Then the portfolio committee will refer it to the relevant honorable member. I was just trying to correct that. That's how we operate. I'm pleased that incubators are going to be extended all over so that we centralize this program. And also the issue of visibility. But where I'm not sure, it's not for the response now, DM and DG, is the issue of the machine, automatic machine, which will have to assist. I would like us to look thoroughly on that one, because as the DM has just indicated that we're living mostly in most rural areas. Issues of technology is still a problem, but let's try our best, DM, to make sure that we liaise with the municipalities through the DDM, the district development model, is the one who's going to assist us. It's true, if we can't unlock the issue of licenses, these programs will be there on paper, but on the ground, we're not going to get anything. We need to deal with these issues of red tape, because really our people, so to be able to fight with poverty and to create jobs, we need to make sure that all those logistics are being handled. And I'm happy about the common business template, which is going to be used, because another thorny issue is the issue of business plan, is the issue of profiles. And I'm requesting or appealing to the DM and the DG to make sure that our leaders in those agencies make sure that there is dust on the ground. because really our people cannot go to those offices, but awareness must be done. We need to do awareness on the ground and assist those people, because those people are so poor in such a way that they can't even have money to travel to those offices. But all in all, it was a good presentation, a good plan. We'll have to follow it up. And the sefa, I think you are also concerned about the turnaround times, which are very, very slow. So, but we are happy about the way you are hands-on, and we are pleased about the way you are reporting that you are really honest with us. Where there are stumbling blocks, you really reflect to us. And then on the issue of people with disabilities, we need to take it serious. We need to make sure that they are part and parcel of us, because really the statement of saying that not all of them can be business people, but they can be beneficiaries of these programs. So I believe the Honorable Jacobs has outlined it clearly. I'm just emphasizing it so that in future we must be careful on the issue of discrimination. But all in all, we are happy about the plans. We wish you well. We will work hand in glove with the department, and also congratulate the CEO who has been forwarded to sefa. I forgot to acknowledge him after the minister has highlighted that, but after the DG has indicated and also the reasons why, we believe it will have positive impact, since the issue of merging is our interest as the portfolio committee. So you are warmly welcome, Bata. We believe you will try your best to make sure that we achieve our dreams as the portfolio committee as well as the department. Thank you so much, all of you. It has been a long day, but you were alert and vibrant. Thank you, DM, with your team. Thank you, honorable members. Thank you, our officials. We have come to the end of our meeting.
Long live the chair.
Thank you, my
Long
son.
live.
Thank you, DM.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, thank you.
Kensile mtshama xitulu mi famba kahle.
Ensile n'wananga.
Hi swona.
So,
Thanks, Chair. Bye.
thank you, bye.
Bye-bye, chair.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Thank you, chairpersons. Bye-bye. King.
Chair.
Here we King,
Chair.
are you
Yes,
still
Chair.
there?
Yes, I'm still here.
I can see.
It's been a long day sitting one place. No, thank you very much.
But it was
Thank you
excellent.
very much, Chair.
Thank you.
It
Thank
was
you,
very-
Ngabi.
It was,
Yeah,
it was very good.
it was good.
Yeah, I think we just have to concentrate on these new plans.
Yeah, yeah.
It's happening, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mr. Jacobs, are you fine? Today we are joining you in Ramadan. Joining Mr. Jacobs, we didn't get lunch, so we're in Ramadan.
Where is he?
I think it's not line because it has not moved out.
Yeah, he's still in.
Mm.
Honorable Jacobs. Whip. My
Yes,
whip. My whip. My whip, are you happy?
He's left these things open, but maybe.
Yeah.
Has just stepped out.
He can't speak.
Commissioner Babalwa, are you fine?
Commissar.
Commissar Babalwa?
Angakaphumi.
Akaphumi. Commissar Babalwa? It's quiet. Okay, Che, we'll keep in touch.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Nomta.
Nomta is gone.
Yo.
I think she's
want
gone.
I want her to render to tender an apology for me for tomorrow's caucus. I lost my brother, I told you. So tomorrow and Friday, I want to be busy with the preparations. You can see today I was locked in the whole day.
Okay, I'll call her to call you later.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'll tell her to call you.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, Chair, thank you very much.
Thank you, Papa.
And then our condolences.
Hey, woman, nisebenze kahle nje.
Hey,
ngazuthi sekuyinto yakho nje
hayi mina ngiyahambelwa wena
ngazuthi nje every month or every second week
it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. But intando kaNkulunkulu. Hayi simndeni omkhulu vele. That's the case with a big family. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Nabisa, I'm switching off.
All right, breaking. Bye.
Usemnandini la khona.
Danke breaking.
Hawu kunini ngikubiza commission ungaphenduli?
Ngiba kwathe ngiyakhuluma ngivulanga ilo imic.
Oh. Awufuna ukuthi
hayi ngizongibona kusasa kwilokhu hybrid.
Hayi phela mina ngingeni kwi-house. Ngiphela
Konto.
Phela ngingeni ku-house.
Hayi ngikhona Braking. Ngi-right kancane mangithembisa ulokhu uDM ukuthi uzohamba nami in the ground hayi kuzoba mnandi.
Yawuthambani no-2. Angibheka yile no.
Ngiyamthanda ke makithi.
Bekahambile no-Hendrik.
Maki.
Bekahambile no-Hendrik. Wena uyazimisela uzohamba na. Okay ke ma.
Hayi kungcono. Hayi kuhle. But ke kuvele nami emva kwami.
Nakuvele no-2 lapho njengominister.
Hey, minister. It's compared ukuthi last time bokunjani manje kunjani.
Kuhle.
Danke Braking.
Okay, keep well. Ngiyabona usiphethe kahle uyacwebezela.
Kumele ngibe right ukwenzela lama small business siwahambele babone ukuthi ngempela sihlala.
Akudlalwa.
Hayi ngeke sisadlala. Danke Braking.
Keep well, bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.